football, you cannot be sentimental. You know, David Tyree never played another snap for the Giants after he caught that pass. That is just the way it goes. Eli stinks. He's not okay. He stinks. He is not a starting caliber, football player right now, period. He's my favorite Giants quarterback of all time over Phil Simms. I love Eli Manning for everything he did. But when Jeter stunk, I said it. When I was out in L.A. and Kobe stunk, I said it. And Eli and Jeter are Kobe, but he's great, was great once upon a time. He is the problem. The fact that they're building around him, they pushed the chips to the middle of the table as though he was going to do something. And then he's still on the roster, still starting. Basically, is the reason Odell's not in town anymore. They're blaming Odell. Eli is the problem. You can't win in this league with a quarterback that bad, period.
I disagree with you. And I'm not trying to let Eli Manning off the hook because he's 116 and 114, I believe his record is as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He's definitely an Iron Man. He's always available. Okay, he doesn't miss games. But in terms of his high level of productivity, this is a dude that barely completes 60% of his passes throughout his career. Let's be clear about that. And by the way, let's also remember that when they won those Super Bowls, one game they scored 21 points, another game they scored 17. It wasn't like their offense was so explosive and Eli Manning played lights out. That defense won those Super Bowl championships.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned. So let's get that out the way. Now, let me tell you what I think the real problem is with the New York Giants. I think it's ownership. First of all, why the hell did you hire Gettleman? What did Gettleman do? He had one good year at Carolina. We understand that. They went to the Super Bowl that year when they lost to Denver. Outside of that, there were some huge question marks. It was Gettleman that was on the clock when they let Josh Norman go, and they reneged on the offer to Josh Norman, let him go, and didn't have a backup plan, okay? By the way, Gettleman hires Shermer, whose record was like 10-23 in his career as a head coach, and you bring him to New York City, okay? Excuse me, I don't think he was a proven commodity as a coordinator. What the hell did he do as a head coach? I mean, come on now. So that's a problem, right? Number 3. The mystique, the allure, the imagery of the New York Giants, what we stand for, like we're a gold standard. You've missed the playoffs 6 times in the last 7 years. Even though Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls, 2007, 2011, if I remember correctly, they had only made the playoffs 1 time in between those 4 years under the Super Bowl. So if we add it all up, you've made the playoffs twice or 3 times since 2007. I'm sorry, that's my math right. That's 12 years, right? 12 years and 9 times you've missed the postseason. Meanwhile, you got rid of Coughlin. But you kept everybody else initially. You got rid of him like he was the problem. Okay, so that was another mistake. And now you've gotten rid of Odell. Because of talent? No. Because he was a distraction to the point where he wasn't performing on the field or others weren't performing because of him? No. It's because you want to stand up and stick your chest out as being an organization of such high moral standard. And we are on a higher ground than most people. Where there is nothing that shows that that is what you are. And so at some point in time, we have to look at the Giants organization and we have to sit up there and say, excuse me, you're not what we thought you were. You're certainly not what you used to be. And the head coach, the GM, the quarterback staying around, even the dude you drafted, who, by the way, is tight with Eli Manning out of Duke, passing up on Haskins out of Ohio State. All of those things can be directly attached to ownership because even though they don't talk to the media all the time, it is clear that they are involved, that they obviously have a say because they're ownership, and you're trying to cater to them to keep your job instead of doing your job.
They made the playoffs 3 times since 2007.
Thank you, Stephen A.
Yeah.
I come on this show.
You might have said 2 or something.
I come on this show with the intent to fight you tooth and nail. All right, and every now and then we agree, which is amazing because look, Eli Manning is not to blame, Max. I will tell you the one opponent that has won every NFL game, every NFL locker room, every NFL arena. Father Time. Father Time is undefeated. He will remain undefeated, and that's just what it is.
Father Time knocked Eli out 3 seasons ago.
I 100% agree with you. And what did Gettleman get on TV and say the night of the draft? That's right. I may have 3 years before I need to play Daniel Jones. Eli Manning is our guy. He the fool. Dave Gettleman the fool. The management for the New York Giants the fool. Odell Beckham, going back to that point, $100 million and you send him off because you want to change the face of the franchise?
Culture.
Here's my problem with the New York Giants. And look, as critical as I've been at Eli Manning, look, one thing about football, all you got to do is watch the tape, all right, when we start bringing down players. Eli Manning ain't the same. He ain't the good quarterback that everybody remembers him as, which shouldn't go unsaid that he was great and one of the top guys at that position. But the New York Giants have always put this perception out there that Eli Manning was the sole reason that this franchise was doing so well. I recall Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan. I recall Chris Canty being on those defense.
That's right.
O.C. Umenyiora. I recall all of these players, and we want to talk about Eli Manning and buy Eli Manning years of football, knowing that it's gone. No. And the Giants organization keeps pushing.
This is not Tom Brady losing in the Super Bowl, but throwing for 5
I'm not going to sit here and defend Gettleman. If you want to say who's to blame overall in the organization, you can go to ownership. You can go to Gettleman. I'm not going to argue, although ownership's been there for decades and they've had success. They have a Giants way. It's not the best way. Patriots way is better, right? But the Giants way works better than most. Gettleman, of course, the GM is more to blame. I'm talking about people on the field. The quarterback, the most important position, has been one of the least productive players over the span of years now as they've improved the line, without a line, with a running back, with a wideout. He ain't any good. So if we're talking about on the field, the answer is Eli.
All right. First game of the season, Giants-Cowboys. In Jerry's world, we will be there.
Sleep last year.
Can't wait. Much more debate to come on.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.